Right. Apologise if anybody can hear the noise. That's irritating, but never mind. And yeah, I didn't share my own link, didn't follow my own advice. All the good stuff. And let me just amend my chat settings. So actually, in the chat, Jeff, would you mind telling me, can you hear a background humming or irritating noise? I don't mean me, obviously. Well, not obviously. I just mean, yeah, can you hear any like disruption, i.e. a leaf blower type thing? Anyone? Doesn't it just excellent? Right, so I'm going to make a start. Hi, I'm going to start as if I mean business now then, like I always do that. Right, I'm going to silence my phone. I feel like I'm just having a group call rather than a live stream. 1 second. Right, getting heckled by my own troops. Let me just, okay, so welcome. Right, we're going to take a quick look at messengers, angels, you know the ones, potentially fluffy winged babies, but let's find out actually. Okay, organizational skills are so underrated and not obvious here either way. Hi, Mohammed. Right, we will have a little chat at the end, but let's just see what we see. So, like the culture, the like public narratives, the mainstream, fiction, films, all of those things resist, and not so much fiction, but resist belief in God, certainly. But they do love an angel. They love an angel. Just off the top of my head, I can think of many instances within literature, within films, TV, etc., where angels are, you know, like present. And they come into favor and out of favor within the public, you know, imagination. At the moment, they're out there. So, you know, as in like around the Middle Ages, they were the subject of a lot of theological speculation. But now it's obviously that's not the focus. The focus is making money. Like that's the bottom line. And some people, you would be forgiven for thinking that they worship angels and everything about them. You see, you can get like I've got one actually, but there's, you know, you can get angel pins, you can get little cards, you can get all of the things with like guardian angels and prayers and little babies with wings, etc. Right, so where do we start? Angels are not dead people who then like sprout wings and like a really kindly disposition. They are not like thinking of TV. They're not just humanoid looking, really friendly guys who spend their lunch hour running around sorting out people's lives. You know, that's not them. What they are is personal, and they are immortal, and they are spiritual beings, created prior to humanity, certainly, and with a different skill set is a good way to put it. They have intelligence, certainly, and power beyond that of the human being. So let's have a think. What else I want to say about them? They came before us. That's most certainly. He laid the foundation of the earth in Job 38:4-7. And within this scheme of creation, they have been pivotal and present. So they're not only messengers, as in Malak, as in, can you just run this message around the corner for me, please? They're also soldiers. They are like, they are instrumental in delivering God's justice. They make some decision, like within this, but I'm not talking about the angel of Yahweh, that's a separate topic, but your run-of-the-mill general, there is no run-of-the-mill, there's hierarchical structure within angelic, I don't know what to call it, within that demographic. There are seraphim, there are cherubim, there's a lot going on. If we go, like if we just put Disney in the bin for a second, please. What we see if we look solely to the Bible is no chubby wings, no little, no. Satan is described as a cherubim or a cherub. Actually Lucifer, I do apologize. And some of them are, you know, 4-faced and 6-winged, and Ezekiel and Daniel have like comprehensive, I would say, descriptions of them. These are the job roles that they have either way. They are called sons of God in Job 1:6. They are called holy ones in the Psalms 89.5. They are the heavenly host of Luke 2:13. Hi, Martin. They are thrones, powers, rulers, authorities in Colossians 1:16. They are watchers according to Daniel 4:17, and spirits. That's Hebrews 1:14. So, like I say, there are many forms of angels. Like I don't know if it's one genus and many. I don't know. Like there's many forms, but 3 identified or identifiable as well classes are cherubim. That's verified not solely in, but definitely in Psalm 80 verse 1. They are also identified as seraphs. So you may remember I just said seraphim. That's the pluralized term in Isaiah 6:2. And the 4 living creatures, everyone will remember, of Revelation 4:7-8. Hi, Bill. So, what have they got going on? They have will, certainly. It's a bit of a misconception, I guess. I mean, Lucifer certainly had a will. He used it. Let's put it like that. They have intelligence. Let's forget about Lucifer for a second. In general, I mean, 2 Samuel 14:20 shows us that. Anyone with a pen and a bingo card? Right. They don't have omniscience. They are not all-knowing, in as much as the source of their information and their mission du jour, like whatever they're doing that week, as it were, is, it's limited. Yahweh basically gives them, I assume, I don't know if I could pull up a verse for it, but I assume they have a hierarchy. If they are soldiers, then they certainly have, you know, in the Old Testament, Yahweh advised the Israelites to have, you know, 1 man over 10, like having minions and like a hierarchical structure. I imagine they have the same. They are mighty ones who do God's bidding, according to Psalm 103:20. They have great, don't get me wrong, I don't mean like yay, I mean awesome, but limited power. They praise God. That's one of their like big gigs, as it were, ceaselessly and holy, holy, and hallelujah, and all that lovely stuff. That's Psalm 148:2 is the reference. But if you look to the Nativity, if you look to creation, and all of those pivotal points in human history, they administer God's business affairs also on earth, and that's Daniel 12:1. They observe us, our lives, that's 1 Corinthians 4:9, and they protect us, Psalm 91:11. I just thought of a verse that's, maybe I'll come to that at the end of the chat, as to why women may potentially be advised to cover their hair in the church. Okay, so they communicate God's message. That's why they are Malak. That's why they are, that's their job description, is their essence, their being is actually their primary role. Acts 8:26 attests to that, and they also execute his judgment on occasion. Sometimes Yahweh of armies nips down himself. I think that's Daniel 7, but I didn't get that reference ready. So, big announcements, big cataclysmic even events. There's usually one floating about, as it were, no pun intended. They announced God's reconciling ministry during the early years of the new church. That's in Acts 10:3. They will join again with Jesus when he returns triumphant, I might add, in Matthew 25:31. Right, I love a reference, as you all know. Sorry, but you can rewind it if you really want to know about angels. Because I tell you what, while I'm just having a little pause for breath, it's not. I believe that like the keepers of the narrative, as it were, I think they know that if you disbelieve in the reality of angels, it's all right, believing that there's one on your shoulder and I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to think, shows where they're, I can't think, Charmed in America. There's like angelic beings and all of those things. You're less likely to believe in the reality. If you're less likely to believe in the celestial reality of angels, it's not that big of a leap before you couldn't believe in demons because they are in fact fallen angels. And then before you know it, Bob's your uncle and you're disbelieving all sorts of like God, the Bible, all of that stuff, because the Bible tells us, and that is the Holy Spirit speaking through the prophets, that angels are a reality and ghosts also. Spoiler alert for next Halloween, as it were. Just my little joke. Right, back at the ranch. Let's get this done because I'm running on coffee and enthusiasm at this point. So there's only two named angels, or two angels who are identified by their, I was going to say Christian name, by their names within the whole Bible. And these are Michael, who broadly speaking is Israel's like assigned protection angel. I don't know. He's the leader, certainly, of the other angels. One often sees him. I got a picture. Maybe I'll post it on community post. He is often seen with his spear and Satan at his feet, under his feet, because of the war in heaven that is referenced certainly in Revelation. So in Daniel 10:13 and 21, and also Daniel 12:1, and Jude 9, and Revelation 12:7. These are the verses that attest to Michael's position as protector of Israel. We're going to go with that. And as a commander within. He is also an archangel. I should make that clear, certainly. So that denotes a rank and a difference in potentially appearance, because as we see in Daniel, they have got some funky appearances going on. And then Gabriel, who is misconstrued as Jibril in Islam, of course. So Gabriel, let me think. Gabriel is like a special envoy. He is like the top dude in the, can you get this message out there and let them know it's me saying it? That kind of, Daniel 8:16. 9:21 of Daniel, Luke 1:19, and Luke 1:26-28. Really feel like a bingo caller. Right, Old Testament. We see, we hear, as it were, talk of the angel of Yahweh, and please do have a look at the video that I made on him for a much more like in-depth, analysis of potentially who he is. So these passages speak directly to the fact that whatever your theological conclusion, the angel of the Lord speaks in a way that sounds as if he is God. Personified, potentially pre-incarnate, which person of the Godhead do you ascribe to his being there is not the point at the moment. There the angel of the Lord appeared unto Moses in flames of fire from within a bush. Everyone remembers that, the old classic. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And at this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. And yet, we've just seen there is the angel of the Lord who appeared. I'm not going into that whole video again. Exodus 3, 2 and 6. We have similar, like all over the show. Really do watch the video. So Genesis 16, 7 to 13. Genesis 22, 11 and 12. Genesis 31, 11 to 13. And Judges 13, 21 to 22. So the angels' obedience, can I say that? Yes, it gives us a positive exemplar of the correct spiritual position one should adopt in relation to Yahweh. I'm not sure if I do believe what I was about to say. Yeah, I think they're potentially better equipped, as it were, not having the same they're not under a curse. So they watch us. This is the thing. They applaud, as it were, our faithfulness, and they're still there for the sin part, and they potentially are not. They're saddened, I would imagine. However, still willing to come to assistance for us. The other thing to ponder is that we should be massively apprehensive and unwilling or cautious of accepting any information about angels from anywhere other than the Bible. Satan is able, where you've been, if you don't realize, to counterfeit real stuff, real feelings, real real fake, he does it particularly well. Alleged, let's go with alleged, nowadays, real-time angelic messages that are not consistent, as with everything else in life. If anything is antithetical to the Bible, and you're trying to tell me that, let's just give it a chance, like maybe the Bible got that bit wrong. Shh, it's ridiculous. Stop it. So, yeah, if it's not from God, it's not from God. And there's one other option, really. Angels never, ones who are still in active service, they don't violate God's word. They wouldn't do it. So other than pretty mysterious, because there's not many verses, but there are verses that attest to their reality, and I find them pretty fascinating, I guess. Just as an aside, they're not intercessors. They're not to be prayed to. Nobody is to be prayed to other than Yahweh. Spoiler alert. Oh, well, actually, depending on your branch of Christianity, get with the program anyway. But yeah, don't do that, people. They're not to be worshipped, most certainly. Not to be sought out in an obsessive, don't chase after them, as it were. And that's those 3 pieces of advice from Colossians 2:18. So whilst they remain higher than we are, in an eternal sense, as it were, we will, after the coming of the Son of Man and, all that. I say good stuff. I'm just psyching myself up, don't worry, I will be there. Yeah, we will be higher in eternity. Paul says that we will judge angels in 1 Corinthians 6:3. I don't know what else. Yeah, I think maybe I'm going to come back to the live chat and just refer you to certainly have a look at the angel of Yahweh. Very interesting character, if you like that sort of thing. So, any questions, please, on the topic, potentially, or broadly. If not, don't panic, because I have some stuff to do, but I'll just hang here for a minute or two and see. Man, I can't. No. I'll bring evidence on Sunday. No, I don't. Right. Questions? I do like it that you all chit chat to each other. Okay. Although if I press the button, you have to carry on your chit chat in the comments. Okay, I'm going to give you another 5. I'm feeling generous. 10 seconds to get with the program and ask me a question. Otherwise, I'm going to wish you all a spiffing day. Jeff, don't ponder it for too long. Come at me, bro. Oh, okay. All right then. Okay, so when did the angels fall? A third of heaven at one point is mentioned in Revelation as falling. Revelation is a future event. Let me come to that. The fall of Lucifer was prior to, well, obviously prior to the garden, as in the temptation of Eve. I personally believe that it happened before the creation of man. I know Jeff's going to come back at me, but we can save this. We can save that. That's my opinion as it stands at the moment. And I think we got into it a bit, and I think I had some pretty snazzy answers because whatever. Right, the pagan path. Why did the angels fall? So we fell from grace. I don't think Adam literally took a dive. They literally fell from heaven and fell from grace. Those fallen angels, they fell from their position of authority. We use it linguistically nowadays. You say, oh, he fell from a great height. Not necessarily because he just fell off a roof. Like we're talking about if someone's the CEO of a massive multinational company and they are caught with their fingers in the till, as it were, they can be said to have fallen from a great height, but they did it because they didn't. Sin is the short answer. I just nearly went on a waffle. They fell because of their sin. The very first instance that we know of sin in the entire universe was angelic. Definitely, Bill. And also, if you look to the creation, the story of creation, the days. I was looking at that for another reason. Looking at Yom, as it were, whether it's 24 hours, whether it's blah blah blah. And there was a theory, some exegesis that when it's we're talking about the age of the earth at the time, and if the fall, if this rebellion in heaven, if that fall was a physical one, that would go some way to providing a cataclysmic event, like a trauma event for the earth, in order for it to be void and without form before man's creation. And that can go some way to alleviating any discrepancy between people who assert the earth is very, 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 very old, and those who say it's just well old kind of thing. I'm sure I explained that beautifully, Phil. You are more than welcome to DM me, and I will send you the link when I'm not procrastinating uni work. Oh, it's so nearly done, and I hate that I'm going to look back at this video and be like, what are you talking about? I'm in the middle of another one. However, for the moment, I'm almost a free woman. James, my love, I would like it if you had one hand on a rung. I'm not going to get technical. What do you call it? Safety equipment, hard hat. I'm not going to say anything controversial. I'm not even going to move. I'm just going to sit very quietly. Just as an aside, I had to change a light bulb, and it's a step ladder, and it's got all of, I'm trying to think, I don't know, 3 little bits, but it's wooden. Like, I'm just going to make myself not seem such a puss. It's wooden, and it's a bit wonky, like a bit wobbly, and the top bit doesn't really click. Either way, I got to the 3rd step. I had the bulb, I had my hand, and I couldn't get my other hand off the ladder. And thank you, I'm so pleased for you, but I couldn't do it. I had the light bulb, and I couldn't take my hand off, and I was all of a whole foot above the ground. So don't start showing off with your 40-foot ladders. Right. If God made Lucifer, more correctly, but yep, Satan and the angels perfect, they would not have rebelled. No, being made, I can make I could make a perfect lasagna and not put it in the fridge, and it could spoil. It could go bad. Just because something is created perfect doesn't mean it's going to remain. So he didn't create them perfect with only the options of ever perfect like actions. Watch it, John. You're right, babes. Yeah, I know it does seem a bit of a poser, like as in like, how did that all happen? God's foreknowledge is for us it's foreknowledge. For him, it's just knowledge. But yeah, he knew what would happen. But yeah, Lucifer was the brightest and the most favored. He was on the Mount of Zion. His feet, he had like jewels and all that kind of jazz. Very pretty, from what I understand. Sorry, John, let me okay your thing. I've got no admins. Oh, yes, I do. Man like H. Yo, Captain Bloodfire has it. I'll do it myself. God, that was the question. Mohammed, you speak for yourself, mate. About we are amazing. What human beings? Have a little look at Nigeria. Stop being silly. Man like H, I certainly will. So how will it? Yeah, I've said it now. Yep, I'll pray for him. He looks like he needs them, let alone to see that. Okay. Mohammed. Okay, I don't know, man. Yes, he definitely did, villainous. He had the ineffable plan of salvation at the same time that I won't say realised, obviously, that, yeah, it was hand in hand. Daffyd in the comments showing off about the weather, wherever he is. What a blessing for you. Well, I just look out at some greyness. No, I'm not jealous at all. Mohammed, bless you, but not perfect. That's the point. There's no perfection around here, so definitely if you know. Okay, the earth is not only flawed, the earth is cursed. Pagan part. The earth does. God looked around. He surveyed the God, like he looked around and he saw that it was good. And you can bet your nearly went the road there. Bottom dollar that if he looks around and says it's good, it's good. Like he's got a standard that I might say is all right. It was good. It was perfect. And then you got to watch who you got on the guest list, obviously. But no, the earth was cursed because of the actions of man. Hi, Jonathan. The topic was angels, messengers. It's kind of weird. Yes. Yeah. Paul speaks about the earth groaning, as in a woman travailing, like working towards childbirth. I think he said still, like it is time, because bringing forth salvation, like a bit of a big deal. Yes, there will be. Yeah, there is no perfection for us as Christians until like a later date, as it were. Yeah, when Christ comes back, like we get glorified bodies, I guess, etc. He's already got one. No, the pagan path, we are not God's mistakes because one, he hasn't made any, but two, Alba! Sorry, two, I can't remember what I was saying. Alba, you better strike me, young man. I'm so happy. I've been praying. Okay, where was I? Okay, yeah, God's mistakes. No, we made a mistake. In fact, do you know, like, far be it from me, but there is more. There are, as far like intellectually at least, there are far more ways to worship and glorify God when you've got something to be worshipful and grateful and thank goodness. Like I'm not just. I miss you as well. You shouldn't do that. Just go radio silent. I had people praying for you. They're in the chat, some of them as well. Right, yeah, God does not make mistakes. Let's just go with with Jeff's like sound bite because I get waffly. The two witnesses, Sean, I would like to do something about that. 7 trumpets. I know Trump has like, all right, there probably is, isn't there? What with them kids that would be funny. That would be funny. Right, give me a couple of questions so Alba can chit chat in the chat. I don't know. What are you saying, people? Speak to me. Speak for yourself, the pagan path. It wasn't a mistake that he made me. How dare you, sir? Yeah. No, it wasn't. No. There was a perfect plan. The ineffable plan. It already includes the salvation, the reconciling of God's chosen to him. And by chosen, I mean he writes the names in the book of life. He doesn't do it because he's rigging the game. He does it because he's not only at the beginning, he's also at the finish line, because he is everywhere. He is timeless and he is everywhere. So he sees the results of our free will, and he saw the results of Eve's free will, certainly, didn't we all? And yeah, but there's a choice, and you don't have to be pagan. You just come to Jesus. Everybody, could you please pray for the pagan path? Also for Muhammad, bless his little cotton socks. Not that one. The one in Muhammad, I don't want to say his full name, but the one who's often in our live chat, please. That'd be lovely. Sean, I'm not really sorry, don't like that little sound. I can't really follow down, so I don't know. Yeah, there is the Christ and the Antichrist, if that's what you're. Yeah, like a symmetry. There is a symmetry within God's plans. He's God. Like, spoiler alert, he has the best plans and the most means of executing. I mean, this. Yeah, it could be said that compared to us, Eve was an amateur, as it were. Like, compared to us, Sodom and Gomorrah was just like a little weekend retreat. Yeah, I think we've way outstripped them in terms of Lomboy. Yep. Just going to answer you without reading it out. Alba, I'm pleased about that, but unless all of your thumbs and fingers were extremely sick and couldn't just say, hey, Kay, I'm fine, we should discuss it later. Already teasing, I'm happy to see you. Hi, Emmanuel. God bless you. Oh, isn't it nice when you get a little blessing? Oh, I love it. Love it. Right. I do also love coffee and unfortunately cigarettes. So I think, yeah, I did 30 mins. Emmanuel, I'm so sorry. It's like shutting up shop time. I will potentially do another stream later this evening. However, I mean, evening for me at the moment, it's like mid-afternoon. This is like, my assignment is done. Fear not, everybody. Panic not. That's all right, Alba. However, like, I have to just do some referencing, and we're not talking like, yeah, I read it there. It's like, yeah, I've got to do some referencing and a word count and a small breakdown and a try and rearrange it all again. However, after that, I only have about 73 other things that I've been putting off for uni. No, I don't have footnotes, Jeff. What I will do is, once I click the button, sign it off, and then panic and realise within 20 short minutes, I should have done that, then I'll come into our group. Like, I'll send it in. If you want to, if you have any insomnia issues, please do request a copy of the assignment. Yeah, villainous. I'm with you. I would go further than crazy stuff with regards to Nigeria. I would go as far as like throwing your lot in with evil, and then like you know what I mean, like ISWAP and Boko Haram and ISCAP and Fulani militants, and why don't they just get a grip? Yeah, Jeff, me too, mate. Me too. I've had, they have just checked this, like a few hours over the last days while I get this assignment in. I love Jesus so much too, Albert. Oh my gosh, what a coincidence. That's so good. Right, we just have to let everyone else know how lovely he is. Can angelic messengers actually err in conveying a message to man? That's a good question that you just hit me with just before I was about to go. I wouldn't have thought. I don't know that there's any examples. Oh, you always come at me with the ones that I feel like I want to say. I'll get back to you. No, they can be wrongly interpreted. Look at Zechariah, if you think about it. Gabriel came to him. Was it Gabriel? Yeah, told him Wagwan, as it were, and he went, what? And then he couldn't speak for however long. I mean, this is the K translation of the New Testament, obviously. But yeah, he disbelieved the angel's thoroughly true message, and as a result, he got his little tongue stilled until John the Baptizer came along as like the infant edition. So I wouldn't have thought so. No, but saying that, they can rebel and cause murders like wars in heaven and that. So, but no, God would know whether they're going to deliver the message correctly. So, not because they don't have the ability, but because they lack the regulative control. There's a bit of philosophy for you. Mohammed, please don't stop me off, babes. Them Africans, some of them Africans don't understand Islam because they're getting chopped up by people screaming Allahu Akbar with an African accent. And some of the African Islamists, I would suggest, like they understand the violent verses pretty comprehensively. But let's not get into it, Mohammed, because you're at Orthodox War, Jamaican, bro, London. Yes, yeah, to be a messenger. Well done, Bill. To be a messenger, you have to be delivering the message. Although some courier companies in London may just fly in the face of that. Pagan Path, good observation. It is difficult to comprehend the incomprehensible. But they're doing a pretty good job. Not a good job as in their actions, but as in their interpretation. Right, it's like 37 mins, everyone. So, yeah, I've got one more minute, and then I go. I was gonna say go home, but I'm here. Yeah, I got some admin. Please pray for me. I got some stuff. It's not even my stuff, but it's a blessing. Like people go, Kay will know what to do. Like, but all at the same time. And everyone thinks their thing is like of the utmost importance, which it is, but that's subjective because I have my own utmost importances. She's waffling now. She's really waffling. God bless you, Jordan. Vil, get to bed, bichacho. Yo, what are you doing up there? Stop it. If you got what, I don't know what day it is for you. Oh, maybe it's the weekend. Soon for you tomorrow. Yeah. Hi, Michelle. Is it conceivable that the messages of angels to man were wrongly interpreted and subsequently recorded in scripture? If they were, the subsequent recording would denote the misconception. I'll look into it. Off the top of my head, excuse me, I don't. Thanks, Orthodox. Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of Abraham, Hagar, Sarai, Sarah. There was angels floating about backwards and forwards, giving it a bit. Disbelief, I guess, is a misinterpretation of a message. I don't know how far you want me to stretch it out. Jonah. James, what do I think about him? If I'm brutally honest, I very rarely think about him. I think the foreshadowing, certainly, of the resurrection, like, being in the belly, as it were, for X amount of time and then being delivered. Christ was in the belly of the earth, I guess. I don't know if that's what you mean, kid. All right. Man, like, you're a funny kid, mate. You do make me laugh. I spoke to Ben yesterday, Man Like H, about bringing this into a public stream, and he just went, who? Like, literally zero idea. Yeah, that's what I think about Jonah, and that is what I think about. Well, then so was Christ, Michelle. Eventually, I mean, he didn't even have like seriously, he didn't even rest on his 3 days off. He was still out there grafting, preaching. James, why would he ask God to kill him twice? I've asked God loads of times. What? Okay, sorry, that's a bit thingy. That's true though, but James, can I get back to you on it in all seriousness? If you send me a comment and just remind me of your question, I'll stick it on the top of my third to-do list that I've got going down in Chinatown, as it were. That's not cultural appropriation, that's okay. Yeah, let's get you down off a ladder. Let's yeah, the weekend's coming. The weekend's got freedom. Yes, I'll do it. I promise. I'll answer it, but I just don't have the. I have to have a look and ponder what I think about it. The thing is, if you want to go with what did God do with him, like, let's all have a little look round for Melchizedek while we're at it. Angels do make mistakes. Well, we're currently in occupation, but fallen ones have a fallen cultural appropriation. On that bombshell. Go on, John. Hey, crack me up. Right, hopefully, John, I'll see you Sunday. James Johnson, I'll see you like in the comment section. Michelle, I'll see you more often. Alba, stay where you are, young man. Like, literally, get on Skype as if your life depends on it. You better do it. You better do it, kid. I'm not going to drive you mad. I just would like, well, actually, I know you're all right now. So, but yes, come along and see us sometime. I went on May West there. K West. No, that's right. Anyhow, she's definitely waffling. I've got to just do it for my own, just for the good of the public. I'm pressing the first button. That's it. Done. And yeah, I'll see you this evening. I'll definitely do a. Oh, she always loves to promise prems and that. I'll see you around. Watch this space, as it were. All right. Laters. Bye.